Budget 2026 is coming, and like every year, we taxpayers are expecting some additional tax relief from our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji. In this video, I'll walk you through what you and I as taxpayers are expecting out of this budget and how it could really affect us, and what experts believe is realistically possible this year. And towards the end of the video, we'll take a step back and look at the bigger picture for the taxpayers. Let's start with the income tax slabs. Over the years, the salaries of people have gone up, but so have the rent, EMIs and other expenses. But during this time, one thing that hasn't moved is that income tax slabs. So in this budget, there might be a small consideration of moving the income tax slabs. Not a full redesign, but a slight change so that the income of people don't get pushed to a higher rate. What it does is that the salaried people have more take-home salary in their hands. Next up, we have home loan interest deduction. Currently, the limit under Section 24B is 2 lakhs. This limit of 2 lakhs was set years ago. In the current scenario, the house prices are huge, the loans are heavy, and the interest payments are even heavier. So in this current budget, there might be a consideration of increasing the limit. And if this happens, then it is a big time relief for home loan taxpayers. Now, will the government scrap the old tax regime? Even though the government is encouraging the people to move from old to new, there are still many taxpayers who prefer the old tax regime because of a lot of deductions available like insurance, PF, healthcare, etc. So even though the old tax regime will be phased out slowly, it is very unlikely to be scrapped out in budget 2026. So for now, taxpayers can expect both the regimes to be in place. Now moving on to the most frustrating area, that is TDS. TDS is that one annoying thing where the tax is cut in advance and then you take months reconciling it with 26 years and the AIS. As we all know that TDS has already a lot of sections and rates, which leads nothing but to confusion and panicness. In budget 2026, there might be a consideration of slightly relieving this particular section and reducing the number of sections and rates so that the compliance becomes easier. This will lead nothing but to a controlled compliance framework, and the refunds will even get processed faster. Now let's look at taxpayers having foreign income. Foreign tax credit is the major pain point. Tax is deducted first and then the credit is received after a long process, and which is a very complex one also. In budget 2026, there is a consideration where foreign tax credit will be adjusted in the TDS stage itself. If this happens, it would make life of taxpayers having abroad income very easy. Next, employment linked tax benefits. Currently, there's a lot of discussion on improving the Section 80JJAA, which talks about businesses who create jobs. Experts are watching budget 2026 if they are going to increase the threshold or limit under this section, making it more rewarding for the companies to hire and easy to practice. If this happens, then there will be a lot of employment opportunities in India during these tight times. Another area which needs clarity is ESOP taxation. Employees who have moved abroad but their ESOPs are vesting, tax rules can be very confusing. In budget 2026, it is expected that government brings some clarity on ESOP taxation and tells us when and where the ESOPs will be taxed, thus avoiding grey areas, confusion and double taxation for the taxpayers. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Budget 2026 is not expected to bring in some drastic tax cuts, but only good improvements like small slab adjustments, better deductions, less confusion around TDS, and clearer rules so that people don't get confused anymore. And this matters more for taxpayers because this means fewer mistakes, fewer notices, and simpler compliances. And this can lead to nothing but saving in time and taxes for taxpayers. Save this video, and once the budget is out, we will in detail explain you what the budget means and how is it going to affect your tax return this year.